What is history, really? Is it merely a collection of dates, names, and events meticulously recorded in dusty tomes? Or is it something far more profound, something that continues to shape our present and dictate our future? Is it a fixed story, etched in stone, or a river, constantly flowing and changing, that could have flowed in another direction entirely? A river whose course was determined by a series of choices, each with the potential to alter the landscape forever? Our world, the one we inhabit today, was undeniably shaped by the outcome of a terrible and devastating war. A global conflict that redefined borders, ideologies, and the very fabric of human society. But what if the tides had turned? What if the seemingly impossible had come to pass, and the other side, the forces of darkness, had emerged victorious? Imagine a world, a chilling alternate reality where the swastika, the symbol of hate and oppression, flies triumphantly over the capitals of Europe, a constant reminder of a victory that should never have been. Not just Berlin, a city already scarred by division and conflict, but Paris, London, Rome, all the great centers of European culture and civilization. This isn't just a fantastical what-if scenario, a plot device for a work of fiction. It's a shadow timeline, a terrifyingly close possibility that lingers just beyond our grasp, a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the ever-present threat of tyranny. The year is 2025, a time that feels both familiar and unsettlingly alien. But this is not the 2025 we know, the one filled with technological advancements and interconnectedness. The world map has been redrawn, its familiar contours twisted and distorted. It is now dominated by the iron grip of the Greater Germanic Reich, a vast and oppressive empire built on conquest and fear. How did this darkness fall upon the world? What series of events led to this catastrophic divergence from our own timeline? To truly understand the scope of this alternate reality, we must go back to the battlefields of the 1940s, to the pivotal moments that determined the course of history. History's razor edge, the precarious balance between victory and defeat, freedom and oppression. Single moments, seemingly insignificant decisions, with the immense power to reshape destiny, to alter the fate of nations, and to condemn generations to come. This alternate world serves as a chilling and unsettling reminder of just how fragile our reality truly is, how easily the foundations of our society can be shattered. It forces us to confront uncomfortable truths and to consider what happens when the fundamental values we hold dear, freedom, diversity, and hope, are systematically extinguished, leaving behind only darkness and despair. What does a world devoid of these essential elements truly look and feel like? What are the human costs of such a profound loss? The answers, as you might expect, are deeply unsettling and profoundly disturbing. Yet, by bravely confronting these dark potentials, by daring to imagine the unimaginable, we gain a renewed appreciation for the value of the light we strive for the principles that guide us towards a better future. This journey into the abyss is also a testament to the countless sacrifices made throughout history to ensure that this nightmare remains confined to the realm of what if, a cautionary tale rather than a lived reality. Before we step through this portal and cross the threshold into this dark and twisted world, take a moment to consider the world around you, the freedoms you enjoy, the diversity that enriches your life, the opportunities that lie before you. This story, this exploration of an alternate past, will undoubtedly challenge your perspective and force you to confront the uncomfortable truth of how precious and how incredibly precarious our world truly is. If you value these thought-provoking explorations of history and the human condition, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us to continue asking vital questions, to delve deeper into the complexities of the past, and to shed light on the challenges of the present. Now, with a sense of both trepidation and anticipation, let us begin our journey into the world that almost was. History is a series of crossroads, pivotal moments where the fate of nations hangs in the balance. These junctures, often decided by a confluence of factors, can alter the course of civilization. For the Third Reich to win, key moments had to break their way. Victory wasn't assured. It hinged on a series of crucial events unfolding in their favor. What if the RAF had failed in 1940? What if the brave pilots of the Royal Air Force had been overwhelmed by the Luftwaffe? Operation Sea Lion, the invasion of Britain, would have begun. The English Channel, no longer a barrier, would have become a highway for the Wehrmacht. In the east, what if the German invasion of the Soviet Union, Operation Barbarossa, had started earlier, perhaps in the spring before the rains came? Or what if the winter had been less severe, allowing the German panzers to continue their relentless advance without being bogged down by the brutal cold? Moscow could have fallen, its capture a devastating blow to Soviet morale and a strategic victory for the Nazis. The fall of Moscow could have shattered Soviet resistance, leading to the collapse of the Eastern Front and a vastly different outcome to the war. What if Hitler hadn't declared war on the United States after Pearl Harbor, a decision that many historians still debate? America might have focused solely on Japan, dedicating all its resources to the Pacific Theater. This could have left Britain and the USSR isolated, facing the full might of the Axis powers alone. And what if German scientists had beaten the Allies to the atomic bomb, achieving a breakthrough in nuclear technology before the Manhattan Project? A single nuclear strike on London or Moscow, a terrifying prospect, could have ended the war instantly, forcing a surrender and ushering in a new world order. Each of these moments was a roll of the dice, a gamble with the highest stakes imaginable. A different outcome even in just one of these instances, and the world would have been unrecognizable. A stark contrast to the reality we know. The 1,000-year Reich could have become a nuclear-armed superpower, a terrifying prospect that would have reshaped global politics. The balance of power would have been irrevocably altered, reshaping the globe in its image. These turning points remind us how close we came to a very different world, a world dominated by tyranny and oppression. History is not inevitable. It's not a predetermined path that we are destined to follow. Instead, it's made by choices. Decisions made by individuals and nations alike. It's shaped by luck, those unpredictable events that can change everything, and by courage, the willingness to stand up for what is right, even in the face of overwhelming odds. Imagine a world drastically altered, a future where the unthinkable has become reality. In this alternate 2025, the vibrant historical city of Berlin is no more. In its place stands Germania, the envisioned world capital of the Reich. A testament to a twisted victory, a monument to absolute power. Designed not for the well-being or comfort of people, but solely for the projection and exercise of power, its streets are unnaturally vast, designed to intimidate, and its buildings are monstrous in scale, meant to crush the spirit. The Volkshalle, the People's Hall, dominates the skyline, a colossal dome deliberately built to dwarf the individual, to emphasize their insignificance in the face of the state. Society is not a meritocracy, but a rigid and unforgiving caste system. At the very top reside the Aryan citizens, the master race, enjoying privileges and power beyond measure. Below them are the subjugated Europeans, their freedoms curtailed, their lives dictated by their conquerors. And at the bottom, the abyss, those deemed undesirable, enslaved, or systematically exterminated. Daily life is not about personal fulfillment, but a constant performance of loyalty to the regime. Even children are indoctrinated from a young age, forced to pledge allegiance to the Führer's omnipresent portrait. The media is not a source of information, but a relentless stream of pure propaganda designed to control thought and perception. Any form of dissent, any whisper of opposition is swiftly and brutally crushed. Every family is under constant surveillance, watched by party officials and informants, ensuring absolute conformity. Fear is not an emotion, but the very air that everyone breathes, a constant reminder of the consequences of disobedience. Technology is not used for progress or innovation, but serves only the purposes of control and military might. The Autobahn, once a symbol of progress, now primarily moves troops and military equipment, not tourists seeking leisure. Surveillance is not limited to specific areas, but is ubiquitous, woven into the very fabric of society. Vast, complex computer systems meticulously track every citizen from birth to death, leaving no aspect of their lives unmonitored. This is a world defined by brutalist efficiency, a vast concrete prison stretching from the Atlantic Ocean to the Ural Mountains, encompassing all of Europe. The human spirit is systematically crushed beneath the immense weight of a perfectly ordered, yet utterly monstrous state. Individuality is not celebrated, but erased. Blind obedience is not a virtue, but everything. The Reich's order may appear absolute and unshakable, but its soul is ultimately hollow, devoid of compassion or empathy. This is not just a city or a nation, but the very heart of the New World Order. a chilling vision of a future dominated by tyranny. Beyond Germania, Europe lives in perpetual twilight. Paris is beautiful but hollow. French culture is suppressed, its treasures stolen. In the east, Poland and Ukraine are agricultural colonies. Slavic populations are serfs. German colonists rule with iron fists. Former allies like Italy and Spain are mere puppets, their sovereignty a facade. Children grow up indoctrinated. French children taught their heritage as weakness. Polish children know only servitude. German children are raised as masters. Empathy is weakness. Cruelty is virtue. The deepest scar, a generation warped by hate and obedience. The future is poisoned at its root. Across the Atlantic, the United States stands isolated, watching the Reich with fear. This is not the Cold War we knew. It's democracy versus totalitarianism, not capitalism versus communism. America's politics are dominated by the threat from Europe. Military budgets soar, paranoia reigns, no influx of European refugees, no Einstein, no Fermi, no post-war cultural boom. American culture is more insular, its science less vibrant. Civil rights struggles are overshadowed by fear of the Reich. The space race is against Nazi Germany, not the Soviets. Imagine a swastika on the moon. The nuclear arms race is even more terrifying. One side guided by racial hatred. Every crisis risks apocalypse. America is powerful, but culturally poorer, cut off from the old world. The world is divided, anxious, and always on the brink. The shadow of the Reich shapes every American decision. The dream of freedom is haunted by the nightmare across the sea. In the Reich's world, art is control, not inspiration. Official art is grand but soulless. Heroic Aryans, obedient families, endless propaganda. Literature is reduced to state-approved novels. Great works are burned and forgotten. Poetry and music are stripped of individuality. Jazz and modernism are banned, only Wagner and marching tunes remain. The world is quieter, sadder. No Beatles, no blues, no creative explosion. But creativity doesn't die, it goes underground. Banned books are treasured, forbidden music played in secret. Underground art becomes an act of rebellion, a desperate cry for freedom. Even in darkness, the human spirit finds ways to create. Art becomes resistance, proof that the urge to express can never be fully crushed. Technology reflects its creators' values. In the Reich, it's all about control. No free internet, only Reichsnet, a tool for surveillance and propaganda. Medical science is built on suffering. Eugenics drives genetic research, not healing. Consumer tech is utilitarian, no joy, no self-expression, just conformity. Nuclear power is a symbol of supremacy and a tool of terror. Every device serves the state, not the individual. Technology, meant to liberate, becomes a prison lock. The threat of atomic annihilation keeps the world in check. Even in the Reich's darkness, resistance flickers. Partisans fight in forests and mountains. Ordinary people risk everything to keep truth alive. Secret presses print forbidden stories. Teachers and priests whisper hope. Even within the Reich, some become spies, risking all to leak information. Overthrowing the regime seems impossible, but resistance keeps hope alive. The human spirit's desire for freedom is uncrushable. The Reich is never truly secure. Rebellion is a constant, nagging threat. Every act of defiance is a reminder the soul cannot be fully conquered. This alternate history is a chilling reminder. Tyranny was not inevitable, but it was possible. Our world, with all its flaws, was bought at a tremendous price. The freedoms we enjoy are not abstract. They are the result of choices and sacrifices. Seeing a world without them makes us value them more deeply. Democracy is a constant struggle, not a given. The ideologies that fueled the Reich still linger in our world's shadows. Exploring this what if is a warning and a call to vigilance. History is our memory and our guide. The world where Hitler won is fiction, but keeping it that way is our responsibility. The river of time is ever shifting, and we are all its navigators.